there's been something on my mind, and I just can't take it anymore.
What's
I've
going on?
I've been really irritated about all these stupid chickens, and I'm done with it, okay? I'm done, I'm getting them! I'm gonna kill them! Yeah. Fucking finally.
Yeah.
I'm sick of that shit. Okay.
Kiss me.
Now that we can curse, let's talk about it. What's up, motherfuckers? That's right. It's TriTheGoulash. I'm Al.
It's Will, and I apologize for that guy.
And it's Blake here. Hey.
What's up, guys? We're back with another episode, and we're gonna talk. We are gonna talk to each other. We're gonna talk the talk. The talk of talk.
We're talking.
We're talking about talking. We're getting metaphysical on your bitch asses. We're talking about conversation, communication. We're talking about words, phrases, idioms, language, whatever.
Diction.
Diction,
Alliterations.
Jargon?
rhymes,
Vowels.
Okay, we're done.
something like that.
Guys.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think it could be interesting. We'll just have to talk about it.
Before we get into the podcast, guys, on the way here, I was driving over here. I saw a mom with her child, and she was pushing this child in a stroller, and the kid was 9 years old, probably. What's your feelings on kids in strollers and ages?
It's just a big ass kid.
It was a grown kid in a
what type of
stroller.
stroller was it?
I'll just
Does
say,
it matter?
I'll just say
Well,
that
I just want to picture
the
this.
kid had her feet up so they wouldn't like
Drag, yeah.
get caught under the stroller. Like it was
Was the
Well-
kid eating?
no.
Oh. I pictured them eating like a big oversized ice cream cone and
No.
just being like gluttonous, just looking
No.
like, push
It was-
me, bitch.
It was a very slender young girl. But she had to been like 9 or 10. And the mom was just like, yep, this is what I do. And the stroller was probably for a 3-year-old.
Okay, before we get carried away, and I don't mean to sound offensive, was there something wrong with this girl?
Did she
No.
have,
Like, was she incapable?
was she on the spectrum?
No.
Let's
no,
just say that.
No. I mean, I can't say, I didn't talk to this girl.
You don't know.
Yeah.
She could have
She
been.
looked fine.
She also could have like had like some disability of some sort as well.
I really
So
couldn't
we
tell.
don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
but yes, it's
If-
a strange.
If this mom is listening to this podcast, if your child does have a disability and she needs to be in a stroller, get a goddamn bigger stroller. Like, what are you doing? That's all I'm going to say.
That's funny.
It was weird.
So your issue is more about the size ratio of the child's body and the stroller.
No, I think the kid should walk.
Yeah. Well, of course, if they're 9 years
Yeah.
old, that's a given.
That's it. I had to get that off my chest. It was bothering me.
Did you know that kids nowadays, you have to be like 4'9" or taller to not sit in a car seat, a booster seat in
I know
a car?
all about
like
that.
That's like a thing.
I've been in a 5-hour
4'9"?
car seat training.
Oh yeah, I bet you have.
Yeah, it's about height and weight.
Height and weight.
No, it's not age.
It's just kind of funny because like
You know, little Mai, she was stuck in a car seat forever, dude.
she probably
Really?
still is. How tall is she?
She's like a booster seat now.
A
And she's
booster
like
seat.
almost 10.
Gosh.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's funny because it makes sense. Like cars aren't built for that size people, but like at the same time, it's just like I didn't do that.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
weird.
weird to me.
So,
Anyway.
thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
Yeah,
before
okay.
we
What the
talk
hell?
about-
I have this like dramatic introduction, and I'm all like, "This is the theme. The theme is this. It's in your face. Here we go. The theme." And then you're like, "But before the theme."
I had to get it out.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you. This podcast is kind of cathartic for me. So I just bring
All
all my worries and woes here. Not really.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
right. What's the word? What's the word?
I don't know what that means.
I'm asking you, what's the word?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti? That is a really weird word. Say spaghetti 20 times in a row.
Hey,
Right now, say it. Spaghetti 20 times.
I've done it. I'm
Just
not
do it right now.
going to do it because
Can I
no
do
one
it?
wants to hear me
Will,
say
you do
spaghetti
it.
20 times in a row.
You do it, Will.
But I will tell
He's the
you
one that
this
said
story.
spaghetti.
I know what you're talking about.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, 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 spaghetti. It got weird for me like a minute ago.
Okay.
Words are really weird. I did that as a kid. The first word I did that with, where I feel like everyone's done that, where they just like repeat a word until it sounds weird. And the first one I did, I was like probably 10. It was Pinocchio. Ooh. And I said that over and over again. It got really weird. It got weird.
That's funny.
Because like they start to combine with each other and
it just
form
sounds like
other words.
Well, speaking of words, I'm just going to ask my question because
Pinocchio.
that
What
was...
you got, Will?
What is your favorite word to say?
Oh my God. That's
it can be,
hard,
It can
man.
be anything.
Okay. One thing I was going to talk about in this podcast is curse words.
Whoa, yeah, that's what I was...
It adds like a little like... I wish I didn't cuss as much as I did. If I didn't, this podcast would probably be a lot more family friendly.
Yeah.
But I do. But curse words just like... There's like emotion behind them. And it adds like a little flair to your conversation. I'm saying this in my mid-20s. When I'm 40, I might be like, I don't know why I did that. But I can't focus. What was that?
I'm just getting some footage for Instagram.
Curse words. Well, I'm just going to answer my own question because...
Maybe we should do...
I'm just going to say it
Can I
because
tweak
this is
your
my...
question?
No, I'm going to say my favorite word.
All right, what you
And
got?
we're not going to edit this. It's
you got?
fuck.
Yes, Will.
It's fuck.
It's cliche, but totally.
Oh my God. It just like coming out of your mouth and like
Yes.
just off the tongue is whew.
Tell me more.
Gosh, I got a boner just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
Great word, and you can use it for so many things.
Nouns,
like it's
verbs, adjectives,
Like, yeah, it's like fucking A.
adverbs.
Like, are we gonna fuck? Like, you can use
Who's
it for...
fucking getting it?
Yeah.
I talked to somebody about this before. It's like scientific. So the word fuck, it has such a combination of consonants and vowels and diphthongs that is just
What's that?
like automatically... What's a diphthong?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
A diphthong is
that real?
how... Yeah, it's
Is
like,
that in a Dr. Seuss book?
it's like speech and vocal like science.
Okay.
So
So it's like the study
so
of...
like a
Let the
diphthong.
man
Let me just
speak.
give you an example of a diphthong. So like the letter A. When it's inside of a word, it can make a lot of different things, and the
Okay.
consonants and the setup of the word, like
Like
the
it can sound
spelling,
differently.
makes it sound different. But what a diphthong is, when I say A, I'm actually saying A. A. So when I'm shifting, and I don't. Okay,
Wilson Otter over here.
No, I
that's
think
not an otter.
I think of Nelly when like he has a song at the very beginning of his song and it's just like like that is it.
So that's a diphthong. Is Nelly.
No. If you guys would let me finish my explanation, then you might find out.
I
Okay.
blame Will.
Sorry.
This is the thing. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is all from like 10 years ago when I took vocal lessons that my voice teacher, shout out Sue, taught me about diphthongs because it's very relevant in song because the shape of your mouth affects the pitch. But anyway, it's how your mouth changes. So like when I say A, my mouth starts like open, like a A, and it shifts to an E, a closed E. So it's
gotcha.
A. That's a diphthong.
Okay, I'm following.
So
I don't remember-
anyway,
I don't remember what we were saying about
we were talking about fuck, and I was saying diphthongs and consonants and vowels. Anyway, so this like acting instructor that I talked to several years ago was like, fuck is the most fun word to say. And it's because it starts with your teeth to your lips, and it's like a soft, like, and then it's just like a punch, and it goes, uck, the uck. So you're going from like the soft, the like, the, and then it just goes to and then at the end, it's just so harsh.
It feels powerful.
So you're just like sliding into that punch.
It feels powerful.
Fuck.
I mean, I do like saying curses. I think part of the reason I like to curse is because it's naughty.
Yeah, like it's...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's the reason I started cursing
'Cause
when
you
I was
felt
younger.
badass?
Because I was
hell
like,
yeah.
"Ooh,
you were a rebel.
this is taboo. I'm going to say this shit." And I remember my favorite word when I was younger was the least intimidating curse, which is damn.
Damn.
I would just say
Damn.
I would be like, "Oh damn," and then I just in my head I'd be like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, Blake."
Damn it to hell. Did you guys ever say that?
Blake, you're a badass dude. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, dude. You're
Okay, favorite curse is probably fuck. I like saying fuck.
Yeah, it's cliche, but it's for a reason.
It's great.
You know what I mean?
It's a great word.
I say it too much.
I have a funny story about just my favorite word in general. This is really random, but I was at a wedding once, and it was like tradition at this wedding. They had a huge ass freezer, and they
froze asses.
they would fit as many people as they could in that freezer, and I would say like 15 to 20 people were in this
People
freezer.
would just go in the freezer.
Well,
they dead?
it was like this family in general. I'm not gonna name the family, but
No, put them on the spot.
you
It rhymes with schmonson.
no, that specific night I had to finish like a fifth of Bird Dog whiskey.
You had to?
Yeah,
I know who this is.
A cop was
You
like,
told me about
better
this.
finish that, boy.
and the tradition was like you would pass it around until it was finished, and you would say your favorite word. And I got past first thing, and that's what I said was fuck. And everyone was like, yeah, fuck yeah! Like, it was great.
Passion for the word.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
I started
my-
out hot, and no one topped
What's your
it.
favorite non-fuck
Yeah,
word?
that's what I'm trying to think of. What's my favorite word that's not a curse? I like.
Bye, dude. Bye-bye, dude.
I like.
That's mine.
That's a melody.
Yeah.
I like words with alliterations.
Yeah.
But that's not. Can an alliteration be in a word?
You know a fun word?
What is it?
It's a Spanish word for hippopotamus, and it's hippopotamus.
That is fun.
El hippopotamus.
That is fun. I don't know what my favorite
Maybe
word
I'm not
is.
even pronouncing that right, but
I'm gonna stick with spaghetti.
what?
I don't know. That's all I can think of.
All right. I just want to make a statement about the types of words that I like, because I don't have a specific favorite word, but I like a family of words, and the words that are 2 syllables and end in Y, such as chubby, tasty, tangy.
Yeah. Are we
Juicy.
just going into?
I'm leaving.
Are we going into jargon right
leaving
now? Are we
out-
just diving into?
We can in just a second, but before we do that, I want to tell my anecdote, because you guys have both told the story, and I haven't gotten to, and I'm really excited about this. So this past weekend,
I can tell you are.
it's short. This past weekend, I was hanging out with my mom in our hometown, and
Hey, shout out.
yeah, what up, Shay? And she was telling me a story about, I don't even know how we got on the topic, but anyway, she's like, yeah, one time I came home and I can picture it just like it was yesterday. She's like, you were about 2 or 3 years old. You were standing by the stove in our old house, and you were really stressed out. Like, I could tell you were super stressed out
Those
as a
3-year-old.
2 or 3 year old. Just
3-year-old problems.
and you were just ranting and raving about something.
Mom, I just can't stack my blocks up to 6 blocks.
That wouldn't be true, because I'm an excellent builder and craftsman.
Get to the story.
Anyway, so she was like, you were just ranting raving about something, and you just were like, leave a motherfucker. And I was like, what? I was 2 or 3, and I said motherfucker. And she's like, yeah. And I called your daycare, and I asked them, I was like, can you tell me why my son is saying motherfucker? And I just thought it was really funny.
That's funny.
When
That sounds.
I was like, well.
When I was the same age, I dropped goddamn. My mom my mom said I was like trying to get outside. We had this like sliding glass door. I was like 3 years old. And there was like, it was summertime and all these flies had gotten in the house and they were trying to get back outside. So we had like flies on the glass door. And I was trying to get outside too, like the flies. And my mom said that I just kept like swatting the flies away, but they would come back because they were trying to get outside. And I was just like, Mom, I'm tired of these goddamn flies. And I was like 3. So.
You still say that a lot. I feel like you say that more than any curse.
I say goddamn quite a bit.
That's the only one I don't say.
Goddamn.
Okay.
I don't want to be stricken down.
Here's the thing about saying goddamn. I know people are kind of sensitive to saying goddamn.
My mother is.
My mom
Imagine
is too.
that.
No, my mom is too. My mom's like, you can say fuck, but if I hear you say goddamn, it's gonna hurt me.
That's what she says.
And this is going out to you, Dot. I'm talking to you individually right now. All I'm asking is God to damn this thing that I don't like. I'm not saying,
It's a
hey,
prayer.
God, damn you. I'm not asking God to fuck off. I'm saying, hey, God, I don't like these goddamn flies. Damn these flies, God. That's what I'm
Help
saying.
me out, brother.
That's all I'm saying.
Strike them down with your vicious fury.
That's all I'm saying. Goddamn.
Goddamn.
What did you say you wanted to get into, Will?
Jargon.
Jargon. Like
Yeah.
what?
Like what? I think we should just dive into some of the sayings that
Yeet!
we have. Like,
Such as the fact that in every single episode of this podcast so far, Will has said, let's dive in. Look it up,
That's
folks.
true.
yeah.
That's true.
Every time.
We've also kicked Al out of every podcast so far.
Not this one. It's not going to happen, boys. Love me.
You're doing all right so far, man.
Well, I'm talking like just jargon in general that we haven't expressed, maybe even to the podcast.
Like Bergie jargon?
Yeah,
I'll talk to you about Bergie jargon.
Yeah.
So when I was in college, and Will went to the same school as me, so he got a taste of this too.
Oh, I was deep into the Bergie.
The dirty bird.
So basically, I'll just not even make this a long story. Basically, what happened is I was living in a house of 3 other guys. There's 4 guys total. And
That's math, folks.
that's
3
math.
plus 1 is 5.
Hey, fuck you both. Okay. The 4 of us,
Say it again.
this school that we went to was what we would call in Missouri country. So there was a lot of country bumpkins at this school. Okay. Yes. And the 4 of us would joke about how much country slang we heard, like walking to class or whatever. So we kind of adopted talking country as a joke, but then it fucking backfired on us because we would make it such a joke that it became reality.
Yeah, and it was our job.
Yeah, like
it was.
and when I finished school, like I'd just be like, "Ooh, boy." No, it wasn't that bad, but it was. We like created our own diction.
We totally did.
In the house.
It was. We had like a twang to everything, and
I would only.
I still say some of it just because like it brings back memories.
I would only
and I
talk-
laugh, but whew, if some people heard him.
I would only talk like that when I was being like sarcastic. Like I don't think I ever talked with a country twang when like I would never be like, "Ooh, I'm going to class, guys. I'll see you later." Like it would never be like that. It would only be like when I was joking. But we joked so much that it became like our normal diction that we would say.
It was like spur of the moment type of thing. And
Yeah, definitely.
It wouldn't be like Blake just explained, like the whole entire time you're talking like that. It would be like one word out of a sentence type of deal.
Shoot.
Get out of
I
here.
like it.
We always added like something that like seriously country people do in this state is they like add like a yee or like they add like a yell. Yeah, like
At work.
Yeah.
All the time. We're always like, you.
yeah. I don't actually do that, but I do it jokingly all the time.
Yeah.
It's funny though because like people from different places, even in the country, even throughout the U.S., look at the Midwest and people like if you say you're from this state, Missouri, like people will just be classifying you as a cowboy. Like
Oh,
you get
yeah.
almost like a like a country bumpkin
Like,
stereotype
it's
almost
almost
for our
like-
area.
It's almost like, so if you're not from the United States, the South is pretty much all the states below us. Like we're like we're like knocking on the country door.
In the
at
middle of the
being in
country.
Missouri. And if you tell someone you're from Missouri, it's not like people don't quite think you're super country, but we're in this like weird gray area here. Like we're not
is
considered
country?
We're not considered South, like Southern boys, but we're like on the threshold of it.
Well, it's interesting, and we can just say this real quick, a little side note of just like dialects and draws or whatever that people have in their speech. And there's in the U.S., I think this is unique from other countries that I've been to. I think I've been to about a dozen countries. In the U.S., since it's such a big landmass, there's a lot of sort of segregated areas of the countries, and because those areas have been developed for so long individually and independently from the rest of the country, they have different ways of talking.
Yeah, it's
like
weird.
people from California talk very different than people from New York.
Going out to Cali.
Yeah, and they say like a lot.
And then you
probably.
go up to Montana and it's
a little more Canadian.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if people from
I know that.
Alabama,
hey, but
people from Alabama, they probably
Holy
talk a
yeah.
little something like this.
then you go a little southern, you get to Alabama.
And
Yeah.
you know, you got Wisconsin, and you got people talking like this, folks.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a, it's got a, I don't even know.
Boston.
And then you go to Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
cheddar.
You're gonna drive the car. You're gonna drive the car around the
Down a
corner.
taxi.
Fucking
Yeah,
chat,
we're doing
I
horrible
tell ya.
jobs. But
Yeah, these are bad. These are not
and
good.
then you got Texas. You got people down in Texas probably talking something like this. I don't know if
Wow.
that's true.
People in Texas sound almost identical
Like
to
us.
us.
That is how we talk. I mean, we're right in
brother,
there.
my brother lives there, so like
We're in it. We're in
the
it.
only thing different from Texas and Missouri, they say y'all a lot more.
Those
So
Tennessee, they do.
this
y'all.
is this
Y'all.
is their. I know Texas is y'all.
I say
their
y'all.
jargon. So if it's like all of y'all, it's more than
All
three
y'all?
people. It's more than three people.
I would
if
agree.
it's y'all too, it's just y'all. It's two people. Yeah,
That's like the
that's
thing.
their that's their jargon now.
That's funny. All the examples we just gave are extreme examples. Like you don't, if you fly over here or you live here in the States,
Chicago.
and you go to Cali, if you run into anyone at Cali, they're not all going to be like, "Oh, dude, what's up? We're going to go shred some sweet, just fucking waves, dad."
Yeah,
They don't
sure.
talk. They don't all talk like that.
It's
No,
mostly because
nah.
people don't say that.
Johnny Tsunami, bro, come on.
I'm done. Will's out of the podcast this time,
Cool.
guys.
I made it.
I'm going to tell you.
You kicked me out for the first time. What the fuck?
I'm going to tell you something I learned in college about language that I found really interesting. I've never forgotten this.
What's that, mate?
So, there was... Now, again, I'm not claiming to be a know-it-all. Like, I'm probably going to butcher this, but I'm going to get the logistics of the story down. So, I want to say this was in the Amazon. These researchers went out there to, like, study plants or something. I learned about this story while I was in psychology, so this is not about botany. These researchers went out there to study plants.
Botany?
They found a group of people that had made a tribe, and the interesting thing about these group of people is basically after like talking to these people and doing all this research and understanding their language, they came to find out that this group of people in the Amazon Basically, all these people had babies and pretty much just like left these babies and toddlers in this secluded area. These babies and toddlers lived. They grew up, started their own colony. But the interesting thing about this group was there wasn't anyone there to teach them language. And they fucking developed their own language.
Of course.
They developed their own language. It was like a bunch of cliques
That is
and
crazy.
stuff. And like, it was as concrete, like with a bunch of like cliques and stuff. They could be like, hey, I'm going to go down to the stream and get some water. Like they could say a whole sentence like that with their own language that they created. It was insane to learn that.
So language as communication is just inevitable.
Yeah.
Like you would always have it.
Yeah. Like
In any species.
I don't think we can escape it. Yeah. And not just humans, like animals and trees.
talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
They do.
I read a
yeah.
I mean,
study.
I could go into that, but
I've actually listened.
Well, that's what's also funny is we don't, like in school, whenever we were in parochial schooling, we had English class and language classes, and they kind of taught us the formal way to speak or to form sentences, but we mostly learned how to talk from people talking at us. And like just being forced to be able to communicate and understand what people are saying and what words were identifying what objects and whatever. And it's even beyond words. Like it's beyond terminology. We have body language.
definitely.
And we learn it. Like even just last night, I was talking to my lady and she was drinking some water or something. She was using mouthwash. It was right before we were going to bed. And I just like had my elbow out. I had my hand on my hip, and she ran into my elbow. So I basically just elbowed her in the chest, and she had mouthwash in her mouth. And her instant reaction was like, "Oh, what the fuck!" And then I was like, "That's your problem." Like I looked at her. I didn't even say anything, but I looked at her like, "That's your problem." And she looked back at me, and she was just like, she did one of these like. My bad.
She didn't actually say what the fuck.
No.
You could just read it.
No. Yeah, she did like a and then like her body language. I saw her be like,
Did like her eyebrows go down?
yeah, and then she turned around and she was like, no, totally. Now that I thought about that for more than 2 seconds, that was my bad. And she like did something with her hands, and I just knew exactly. Like we communicated an entire thought sequence without saying any English words.
It's weird. It's really strange. Language is a weird thing. I'm going to jump into my question. It's a real fucking weird one, okay?
Are you gonna dive in?
I'm going to dive in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Dive on in. Are you? I do have to ask you one question though.
What is it, Willie?
Is it swan diving or what?
You make the rules, Will.
I mean, fuck yeah! I am John's or what the fuck? What was Yeah, I'm done again.
It's me and Al this week.
Yeah, it was a swan dive. I don't know what I was talking about.
Anyway.
So worth it.
Anyway, okay. This is a hypothetical question. We're in the year 3,500. Okay?
With the jet.
I'm old.
Scientists have developed a computer chip they put in everyone's heads, okay? Everyone has this chip. What this chip does is you don't have to talk anymore. Communication is done through telepathy.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But very efficient. But anyone can get your thoughts at any time.
Oh, you can't control it?
No, like I can know Will's thoughts at all times.
Fuck that.
Will can know my thoughts at all
fuck
times.
this.
I can know your thoughts at all times.
hate
Nope.
this.
It's insanely efficient. Insanely. Like
Nah.
if I was trying to describe a dream to you guys,
We would just know it?
you would know it perfectly. Because you
Kind of crazy.
'cause you could-
Forced honesty.
yeah, because you would just
No
know
one
it.
could lie.
But at the same time, you would know all the fucked up shit that's in my head too.
Yeah, we wouldn't be friends. You guys would be like, this guy's fucked up.
But here's the other catch to this is like So you guys would know all the fucked up shit in my head, but I would know all the fucked up shit in your head.
I know.
And maybe
So
that
we'd
would,
all just be like, "Wow, we're all
like
shitty."
everyone in the world would just know that everyone thought shitty things, so maybe it wouldn't matter anymore. Would you want to live in a reality where telepathy was communication or not?
No.
That's my
No,
question.
fuck no.
And why?
This having our own minds like that in itself makes life fun. We're all different.
We are.
And
No, we
I
are.
feel like if it was that way, I mean, we would all know what we were thinking. And
It would be crazy. It
Yeah.
would be overwhelming. It's already overwhelming. Like,
yeah, it's
listening
just
to
like,
people now.
imagine walking down the street, like, thinking, like, what these people are seeing. Like,
Yeah. It would.
Damn, look at that chick's ass.
exactly. Like, what
would
if
drastically change the
women
world.
it would.
It would
Because
drastically change the world.
you wouldn't be thinking that shit, but
would
that's
do it.
like, well, fuck, that's not fun.
I would do it.
You would do it?
I would do it.
It would be an entirely different universe.
I
Oh,
think.
of course.
I think for like the first year, it would just be like fucking crazy. Like everyone would be like, "Oh my god!" It would be like such a shock to society. But after a year's time, I think people would like adjust, and it would be insanely efficient.
You're
Now,
right.
Where this gets complicated is the laws. So like let's
can't.
say our this isn't actually Will and Alex's neighbor's name. I don't know what his name is, but let's say your hypothetical neighbor John over here. Let's say he's got anger problems and he has seriously thought about killing his girlfriend Sally
Or better yet, killing you.
or killing me. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
better.
That's way better.
That's
yeah,
better.
let's kill Blake.
Okay, John fucking hates me, and he's contemplated killing me. Now, John isn't actually going to kill me because he has a conscience, but he's thought about it. But everyone knows that he's thought about murder. Does he go to jail?
No, well, he does for 2 days.
Why 2 days?
I don't know. You calm down after 2 days. It's hard to think.
What my question is, diving deeper into this hypothetical situation, is would your thoughts merit your actions? Like, would you be arrested for your thoughts?
Do your thoughts merit your
Maybe,
actions? then?
yeah, sometimes. I mean, I'm not always thinking like terrible thoughts, but
I'm not either, but I have.
Oh, well, of course, I think everyone has, and if you haven't,
daily.
then
No.
you're lying to
Daily.
yourself.
That's why I say it so freely, because I don't think there's anyone here that hasn't thought something bad.
You guys would be repulsed.
Well, I think everyone would be.
I'm very creative.
But I think that's our human like dignity.
But
that
would-
we.
My question is, in this hypothetical situation, would someone be tried and jailed for thoughts?
It would
No.
be hard. No, yeah,
No.
because
I don't think you could, because I
Think-
think everyone would be in jail.
think of a
That's
think
all
of a
suppo-
think of a police officer. You would see their thoughts as well, and
They'd be saying the same shit.
yeah,
Nobody's infallible.
We are all human.
We're all
and,
fucked up.
Yeah,
I think if this was
think-
reality,
The Pope's even just like, those are some nice tits. I bet.
maybe
Pope
I don't
Francis,
know.
he's chill as fuck. Come on.
I think it comes down to your actions. Like, as long as you don't act on it, that's different. Now, the reason I would want to do this reality is because I think humanity would go to like the next step. Like, I think it would further humanity. It would
Spiritually-
be. It would be harder. It would be a lot harder for a while.
You would be way more responsible for your mind.
Or
Directly, like instantly.
you would be like responsible for your mind, but at the same time, I think society would just understand that people think things. Like, I think
Impulsively with no
there would just
control.
be an understanding of it. Like, if I was walking down the street and I saw an attractive girl and I was like, "Oh goddamn, she's hot," and she heard me think that, it might just be one of these things like, okay, I'm just gonna like, that's all right.
It's cool that I think that. Because really, you shouldn't feel guilty about things that you
Yeah.
think. Because, well, unless you're just letting yourself run away with it like I do every day of my life. But it's interesting. My only qualm with that scenario is the whole control thing. Like, I would be down for being able to communicate without using words telepathically if I was in charge of when people would receive that information. Like, the only problem I have with your scenario is that people can withdraw information from other people. I just don't really think that that is how life is supposed to be. To me, that makes, in ways it would be harder, but at the same time, that makes it easier, because then you don't have to, the whole concept of trust and faith are completely obliterated. They are pointless. There's no such thing as trust anymore, because you know what everybody's thinking all the time. Yep. You can take it without them willingly giving it to you. So there's no even place for trust and commitment. And
you're right, but think about the positive. Think about if you didn't have trust and you were with
would be good, undeniably.
Think if you were with your girlfriend. Think if you were with your girlfriend and you didn't, there was no need for trust anymore because you just knew Lauren's thoughts. But when you looked in Lauren's mind, you knew that she genuinely cared for you. Like, that's amazing.
Right. But the thing is, but the whole idea of trust and confidence, confiding in people, is part of what brings people together. Like, the fact that you guys know more about me than almost any other two humans on the planet, even more than my parents, makes me appreciate and value your existence in my life more so. Maybe that's like a wrong way to live, but it's the same with Lauren and I. Our closeness and our willingness to open up and communicate with each other, parts of our beings, our souls and our minds with each other, is part of the foundation of our relationship and what makes it special between us more than anybody else that we are with. You know what I mean?
Being willingly honest.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's consent. It's the choice, the freedom of choosing.
That's a good counter.
I think it would be pandemonium. And I'm saying that very introspectively, because I know that if people could know what I was thinking all the time, I just wouldn't have friends. I wouldn't have friends because I'm so hypercritical of everybody in my life, because I'm hypercritical of myself too. I'm just that guy.
Dude, you're too hard on yourself.
That's true.
Like you just said. Here's the thing. If you didn't have friends, no one would have friends.
Whoa.
And then if no one had friends,
then it wouldn't be a big deal.
Then we would be like, oh, no one's got friends. We just need to accept each other's flaws. And then it would be like utopia.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't be beneficial. It's just scary. So I'm not I'm not super I'm not trying to dive in.
It's fucking terrifying. Okay, if there's a button in front of me, let's say there's a big red button in front of me, and it's like, if you push that button, everyone can read each other's thoughts. I would be trembling to push it. I would be scared, but I would probably do it.
I wouldn't. I think the negative, there are, when you said basically think of all the positive things, the negatives totally outweigh that whole scenario. But I don't. What would you think a positive would be?
This is my counter, Will. The positive would be creative evolution, and on top of that,
in a sense, to what?
Everything. Like, Elon Musk could just show me his mind. It would be insane. If someone was trying to teach me, hang on. If someone was trying to teach me how to pole vault, they could just show me in their mind how to do it, and I would know. Convenient. I would just know.
But would people do it?
So would everyone else.
There wouldn't be competition.
Okay, now you're thinking of the negatives being a bad thing. You're thinking of everyone knowing each other's thoughts would be bad. It would be weird, and it would be scary.
You're right.
I think it would ultimately, in the end, be good, though.
No, I'm not disputing that at all.
But I think
this is just my opinion. I don't know if I'm right.
Relationships would be out of the picture, and I think
everybody would be completely independent of everybody else.
I agree with you, Al,
maybe
which isn't good or bad. I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Maybe that would just be the future.
That's the only way I'm seeing that.
You might be right.
Happening.
You might be right. And to us, that sounds weird because we live in this society where commitment happens. But maybe society would just change after that. And
I
maybe
mean,
everyone
it would have to. It would. I don't see.
It would totally change. It would be
yeah,
different entirely.
The life we are living would be nothing.
I like to
like
think that there's a reason that we can't. With my frame of reference and what I know about life and people and the world, which is not a lot, folks. I am fairly ignorant. But honestly, it sounds too easy. There's almost no challenge in human interaction if you know what everybody's thinking and everybody knows what you're thinking.
Yeah.
There's no challenge or effort necessary to connect. Everybody's just automatically connected. You don't have any choice. It's just like you're just like kind of existing.
Just for the record, I would probably choose to read each other's thoughts. But I think the challenge of not reading each other's thoughts creates a path to deeper learning. So I think that's why things are the way they are.
Yeah, no.
That's respectful.
I think we're all getting that.
I think this is just what my general thought is, just about this whole entire thing. Like,
What is it, Will?
our mind being able to like think like shitty things about people or just bad thoughts in general, like that's fun. I don't like
What?
like
What's
I'm not saying
Let
like
me clean up your answer.
Yes.
You're saying it's fun to have something private all the time.
well, yes and no.
Like, Will's a good guy. He doesn't think
Yeah.
shitty things about people all the time.
Exactly. I'm
But,
not
like,
thinking like
It's nice to have one thing in your life that's totally private.
yes, and that
Yeah,
exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Basically, our mind being our own. Like,
Is that like an
it's
attachment
fun.
to identity? Like,
It's totally ego.
so yeah, is that
It's
egotistical?
completely ego.
Which, you know, here or there, who knows?
Well, we're not in year 3,500, so this isn't going to happen.
Isn't there
I
like
mean,
a,
it's interesting.
a Jonas Brothers song about fucking the year 3000?
I don't know.
That's the only thing that I've been thinking about.
I don't listen to them. I don't know about
Dude,
you,
it was
Will.
one
It's
of
my
their
favorite
first
band, dude.
fucking hits, like back in the day. So
Year
all
3000.
you ladies out there, this one goes out to you.
Because we know how the ladies like the Jonas Brothers.
2005,
I'm thinking
no,
like we're in like
on.
8th grade and it's
Hold
just
on.
all the honey dips.
That was my question. That was a fun little thought process
Okay,
there.
to close that up, yes, I'm interested in that concept, and yes, I think we would all adjust and be okay.
No, we would not survive. We would kill each other. Everyone would die. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, Will, that's a fucked up
I'm
thought.
kidding. Yeah, I'm just giving you.
I don't want it just for
examples of
that.
my
Like, I don't
mind.
want to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
Just kidding, I do. Tell me everything.
Okay.
What's your question now?
Yeah, hit me, baby.
Okay. Wait, have I really not asked one yet?
I mean, you've kind of like talked about shit, but you haven't asked anything.
Oh. Okay. I just thought of a question. I thought about this a long time ago before I even decided to bring this topic up. What if... So English is a very broadly spoken language across the planet. Like it's not spoken by the most people. I think it's Mandarin Chinese is like the most popular language as far as like the most people speak that language, just because China has a huge
There's
population.
A lot of people in Asia, yeah.
I don't even think English is in like the top 3. But as far as second language, I think English is number 1. English is like a huge second language. Like, not everybody speaks English, but if people speak 2 or more languages, one of them is probably English.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
It's somewhat
Across
of
the
like a
planet. Like, it's
universal
very
language.
universal, which we're super lucky.
It's
Matter
a
of
hard
fact.
It's a very hard language to
Just for
learn.
the record, so everyone knows, I only speak English. I can't speak any other language. I'm sorry.
Hablo un poquito español, pero no soy bueno.
Alex is pretty good.
Me too.
Alex is a lover of language. I
Me gusta la
want to
lengua.
be. I just don't have the education to comprehend it. I'm dumb.
I see. That's the thing. I could basically translate everything that Al just said, but I just can't speak it. I can Spanish, like I can translate very well.
Spanish.
Weird.
I can get by like
That's
and
weird.
understand,
So you can,
but
like, hear it and
yeah,
know,
but I
can't-
can't. I
weird.
can't speak it. It's
Nuts
very strange.
because everybody that I've talked to has said that. Like throughout all my Spanish classes, most people are like that. But I've always felt like I've been the other way around. Like when people are talking and speaking Spanish to me, I'm
like,
like,
what are
I
they
have
saying?
no idea what the fuck they just said. That was a lot to take in, and I'm just not very good at listening in general. So maybe that's it. But I've always been better at being able to be like, okay, I am thinking this. I need to express this information to this person. I think I can fabricate a sentence, even if like I'm completely. I'm maybe 45% fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, you speak
Not
pretty well.
I'm not fluent at all, but I can like get by. Like if I was in a
That's what I'm
Spanish speaking
saying.
country,
Like, if
I could
someone-
survive.
If someone just
and
threw you
get
in
my way
Mexico,
around.
you'd be like, okay, I can get out
Right.
of here. Yeah.
But it would be a struggle. I might have to take 5 sentences to get there, but I can almost ask for anything just by like describing things and like talking my way around things. But you shouldn't feel bad about not being able to speak another language. Yes,
This is why I feel bad, because I feel like there's a stereotype with Americans.
yes.
That we only speak English and we want everyone to speak English.
You're ignorant. You're so
Yeah.
proud.
America,
you don't care
America,
about,
America.
You don't care about anybody but yourselves.
That's why I feel bad, because I want to disarm that belief, but I'm dumb. I just can't.
Here's the defense.
I could if I like spent a lot of time doing it, but I got my fingers in everything else. I just want the goons to know that I wish I could.
I'm not a dick, guys. I swear. No, but seriously, I'm gonna defend us here because I've thought about this a lot. Because in my travels, people that are second language English speakers are like I've talked to a lot of different people from around the world, and they have expressed a little bit of frustration. They're just like, well, we had to learn English because everybody speaks English and whatever. And first of all, it's not our fault. Like, we didn't choose that.
Yeah.
But also, out of anybody on the planet, native speaking, whatever, wherever you're from, we have like the least motivation to speak any other language because of the fact that everybody speaks English.
It's true.
And it's not our fault. It's just like, okay, we already speak the language that like every media channel broadcasts in.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of a need. Like, I can get by through my whole life just speaking English just fine.
That's a really good point.
That's ignorant
I've never
and
thought
maybe
about that.
closed-minded to just be like, well, I don't have to try, so I'm not going to. But at the same time, the other side of that is, I'm going to give an example. In Mexico, the sister school to our high school that we visited, the three of us, actually, this was...
You just tell them what we did.
So the three of us became friends because in high school we went on a lot of mission trips. We went to a Catholic high school, and so we did a lot of service trips through the school.
Just for the
and-
record, to defend these trips, they were not preachy. We were not forcing down our the views at the time. We weren't forcing them down anyone's necks. We were strictly going just to help communities and build things and shit.
I don't think anybody gives a shit because we've talked about eating on this podcast. So.
I care because I've told people I've gone on mission trips and they're like, "You were forcing
Oh,
down
you're
this
a
shit."
you're a
And
goody
I'm
goody evangelizing.
I'm like, no, we were not evangelizing at all. We were building houses. So just for the record, that's there.
Okay, so anyway, all three of us went to Mexico for 10 days, I believe. Hermosillo and Sonora, Mexico, in the desert. And
that is just south of Arizona.
yeah, it's like
Basically, just
5 hours directly south of Tucson, I think. Maybe a little southwest.
Burger
Anyway,
King?
it's beautiful.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, these
Yikes.
guys got food poisoning.
I didn't get it.
I got
I
it.
didn't
Oh
get it.
my
In
God.
Tucson?
Never will I have Burger
Don't go to the
King
Burger
again.
King in Tucson, folks. There's probably several.
Oh,
Anyway.
Will was squirting.
Oh, God.
I don't know what was going on, but
Anyway,
something.
the curriculum for the school in Hermosillo that we were at, it wasn't a choice. They had to take English from first grade through sophomore year of high school.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So that's automatically guaranteed, 10 years of a foreign language class? Not even close. Like, in America, some other cities might be different, but our hometown, we had like maybe one option of a Spanish club that you would go to once a week after school and get an hour or two of tutoring and like vocab study.
This doesn't make
That's
sense
it.
to me.
Until high school, you don't even have an option to take
Why
foreign
didn't
language.
we take Spanish as kids and
Dude.
just make the world more efficient?
That's
Why
what
the
I'm
fuck
fucking
didn't
saying.
that happen?
Because you know why? Because people in our country are so ignorant towards Mexicans because they think they're invading our country or whatever, and they don't appreciate tacos, and I hate it.
I don't think
And
it's that at all.
Just for the
I think it's
record,
our education system.
people are just
Yeah,
stubborn.
it's
no,
probably
I mean
true.
that is what it is.
Oh god,
what
this is
it
getting
is,
political.
yeah.
Just for the
I mean,
record, I love Mexico. I love where I live. I
hope
love
they
the
win the
United
World Cup.
States.
Yeah.
I hope they win the World Cup.
I do. Viva Mexico. Mexico is one of the best cultures
Belgium,
on the
maybe.
planet. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I didn't even have much opportunity to be bilingual throughout my life.
I didn't either.
Until I was in high school.
Not at
High
all.
school was the only time that I was even provided a convenient opportunity to learn a foreign language. And honestly, in America, you have to be ambitious about learning a foreign language. You have to be extracurricular about it. You have to be over enthusiastic about language to even get close to becoming fluent by the time that you're 20.
It's not gonna happen unless you
Travel.
want it.
Unless you travel and you are immersed. Unless your parents speak a different language. And even that is a fraction of a percent of the country.
And just
I
for the
guarantee it.
record, the optimal time to learn a new language is when you're little.
Exactly.
For sure.
And
That's when you learn
I-
English.
I definitely was not being taught English
about
in my
that.
grade school.
I actually had some Spanish in my.
Did you really? At IC? For real?
That's cool.
Miss Gonzalez.
Wow.
Uh,
That was
That's
not even
dope.
on the...
See, that's lucky.
Yeah.
The other two main
but
schools,
it wasn't for
you
very
didn't.
long. I probably had maybe to 5th grade,
Nice.
and I don't remember when I started taking it. So
And that's the thing, you had to basically prioritize learning that second language over any other, because did you have to stay after school or go early?
no, it was
It was a
one of our
class? Oh, well,
Nice.
that's awesome.
That's how it should
We
be.
would have it once a week.
See, and that's not enough.
Yeah, I know.
That's more than I got.
It was
but that's
kind
not
of a
enough.
special class. They would fit into your schedule, but at the same time, you got to look at it parochial, private schools. Their funding,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there were the grade school I went to. They didn't really charge you per
We're all
kid.
super privileged. We all went to private schools our whole life, except
Yeah.
for college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they would
spoiled.
just charge you whatever you could afford, and I mean, you got to think of it as a funding.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
did the public schools in our town
That's what I'm
have
wondering.
Spanish? I don't
Did
know.
they?
Maybe they did.
I don't know. I had lots of friends in the public school, but I never asked
I don't
them
think-
about that.
I wouldn't
don't
be
think so.
surprised, but at the same time, at the very least, I'm pretty certain that the U.S. has one of the smallest endeavors of
Being bilingual.
being bilingual.
Yes.
And sure, go ahead and blame the whole country. I'm not going to hold that against you for being upset with our country as a whole for not being bilingual and catering to other cultures and language speakers, but don't hate me personally. It's not my fault. Understand my frame of reference and my perspective. I want to speak Spanish. I really do. Yo quiero hablar español, pero
You like to speak Spanish.
no practicar. Alright, so I haven't even asked my question. We got a little sidetracked, but it's very relevant. All the stuff we've been talking
Yeah,
about
this
is
is
relevant.
good stuff.
It leads into my question rather well, actually. So I'm going to stop complaining and just get into it. If you could speak every language spoken on Earth, you were just polylingual, everything except English. You couldn't understand a single word of English. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't learn English. Even if you tried, like, no matter how much time you put into it, it was impossible for you to learn English. But you knew all the other languages in the world. Would you do it?
Even the language of that tribe and the Amazon, I would know that one.
Yeah, of course.
Ah, damn, that's a hard one.
I think I totally would, because think of all the people overseas and knowing the fact that you know every other language besides English.
It'd be badass.
Yeah, you
get
would
so many
totally
jobs.
survive.
I would do it.
would
I would have to
easily
leave
do it.
America.
Yeah,
I
you
would
wouldn't
have to
stay
get the
here.
fuck out of here.
You wouldn't stay
I
here.
would have to get the fuck out
Yeah,
of
the
here.
fact that you couldn't learn English would be really shitty. But I think having the knowledge of other languages
That would
would
suck.
be so
You
much
couldn't be
greater.
anywhere in America. You couldn't go to hardly anywhere in Canada. You could go to some places in Canada and speak French, but like, fuck, that would suck.
I still think you could get by though, because America is a fucking melting pot, guys.
might be right.
There's
Go
south.
You go, like, really southern, like Arizona.
There are probably,
Oh, yeah.
And be fine.
just think of like
That's a good
Southwest Boulevard here in town. Like that is a prominently
Latino.
yeah, like Hispanic,
I would do
Latino
it.
area.
I
Like
would do it.
anywhere you go in America, I think you could even get by.
I'm trying to think of where the fuck I would go if that was my reality.
Like, what language you... Honestly,
I feel like
Europe.
I feel like I would
Yeah,
show
Probably
You
Europe,
could
because
survive
it's the area of Earth that has like the most diverse languages in a
Yeah.
small
Europe would be
geographical
nice.
area.
It'd be cool to pop up somewhere over in Asia. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to visit Asia.
I'd like to go to China or
Cousin,
Nepal.
we going to Russia. See American
Dude,
titties.
Russia's a cool language.
You just like their girls.
They have attractive women. Good job, Russia.
I would love
I'm serious. It's
Sweden.
like every
I-
time I see a chick and I'm like, oh damn, like holy shit, like some model or something, and then her name's like,
like
Simonakov or something. I'm like, oh yep, she's fucking Russian.
Ivanka
Have you
Smirnoff.
have you seen their?
Ivana Humpalat.
Will's out of the pie. He's done.
Have you seen their read my pervy mind? Have you seen their like figure skaters in the Olympics?
Oh,
The Russian they're always like babes, and they're like
dopers,
just
dude.
turned 18 like yesterday, and I'm like, oh fuck, that sucks.
danger zone.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail.
Good thing
Kenny
we can't
Loggins.
read each other's thoughts.
Yeah, thank God for that one.
So language.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's a thing.
This has been a good podcast. I've liked this one. This
We've
has been
talked
nice.
about it for sure.
So we've talked about talking. We've talked about all things.
Some things.
Some things.
Those are words.
I'm talking to you goons right now. If you enjoy this, it would really help us out if you didn't subscribe, don't like this. We don't want it.
I do.
Okay. We'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed it.
We'll talk at you next week. We love you. Hope you're doing well.
Have fun. Be safe.
Enjoy your week.
Wear your seatbelt.
Take time to meditate and work on yourself.
And make smart decisions.
And make sure you sit in your booster seat.